The undercity had always been a cage of whispers, but now those whispers grew teeth. Wherever Jarek walked, voices followed. Sometimes he caught them clearly: predator, warden, crownless. Sometimes only the murmur of syllables just out of reach, but always sharp enough to cut. It was as though his name had escaped his body and begun running ahead of him, painted on walls he hadn't touched. He hated it. He wanted to be invisible again, another scavenger in the dark. But the forge in his chest burned too bright. 4 rings spun inside him, jagged, grinding against each other with every breath. The hunger prowled behind them, never sleeping. They give you names. Wear them. Names are crowns, even if you pretend not to see them. Tear their voices from their throats if they weigh too heavy. He pulled his hood lower and walked faster. Varric kept stride with him, crimson eye clicking every few moments as if marking time. "You can't outrun it, boy," he said quietly. "Names stick whether you answer them or not. Best you learn to hold the weight, or it crushes you." Jarek clenched his fists. "I don't want them." "Doesn't matter. The world doesn't ask." They turned into a wider tunnel that opened into the market square. It smelled of oil, smoke, and hunger. Merchants shouted, hawking scraps of wire, chipped tools, and bread too thin to fill a child. Crowds shifted around stalls made of broken planks. And everywhere, eyes turned to Jarek. A preacher stood on a crate in the center, robes scorched at the hem, black flame flickering in his hands. "The crownless walks among us," he cried, voice carrying across the square. "He closes doors with chains of gold. He devours the fire of beasts. He will burn the guild's chains and set us free." The crowd murmured, some bowing, some backing away in fear. Children stared wide-eyed. A gang of forge rats whispered among themselves, their eyes sharp with envy. Jarek froze, the forge roaring in his chest, chains stirring under his skin. The hunger laughed, delighted. "Yes. Let them see. Prove them right. Burn it all." Varric's hand landed on his shoulder, heavy and grounding. His crimson eye clicked once, sharp. "Walk," he said. Jarek forced his legs to move. The preacher's voice rose louder behind him. "Behold the crownless. The fire is his. The doors bend to him." The crowd pressed closer. Some knelt. Some spat. Some reached out as if to touch him. Jarek's hood could not hide the glow in his veins. His chest burned with every heartbeat. He clenched his teeth, fighting the hunger's scream. "I am not yours," he whispered under his breath. "If you want us to keep making more stories like this, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to Azure Inkblade." Now, back to the chapter. But the forge blazed louder, drowning out his words. That night, back in Varric's den, Jarek slammed his fist into the wall. "Why me? Why can't they leave me alone?" Varric sharpened his knife, his motions calm. "Because you're fire, boy. And fire can't hide. Smoke always betrays it. I never asked for this." Jarek shouted. "No one does," Varric said simply. "But the forge doesn't care what you want. The only choice you have is whether you master it or let it master you." Jarek slumped against the wall, chest heaving. The hunger purred, smug. "You cannot escape me. You cannot escape them. You are mine." Sleep came fitful and short. Jarek dreamed of doors opening one after another, beasts crawling through, their souls slamming into him until his body split apart. He saw himself crowned in chains, fire blazing from his mouth as crowds chanted his name. Predator. Warden. Crownless. The words blended into one until silence swallowed them whole. He woke gasping, drenched in sweat. Varric watched him from the bench, crimson eye glowing faintly in the dark. "You can't fight names with silence," Varric said. "You fight them with deeds. Decide what you'll carry, and carry it? The next day, they hunted again. A seam split open in a collapsed water shaft, fire pouring out. The beast that emerged was shaped like a spider, its body ember bone, its many eyes pits of flame. It skittered across the walls, shrieking. Jarek's chains lashed out, binding its limbs. The forge blazed, the hunger screaming. The soul tore free and slammed into him, fire burning through his veins. He hammered it into shape, forging another jagged ring, even as pain tore him apart. 5 now, grinding together, each heavier than the last. He fell to his knees, gasping, chest on fire. Varric crouched beside him, studying him with the crimson eye. Better, he said. But you're close to breaking. You need tempering, or the forge will split you. Jarek nodded weakly, though the hunger laughed, delighted. 5. Stronger. Keep feeding. Never stop. As they left the tunnels, Jarek felt eyes on him again. In the shadows of broken beams, the cult watched. Their whispers followed him like a hymn. The crownless binds another. The crownless devours fire. The crownless leads us. Jarek clenched his fists, hatred and fear warring inside him. He wanted to scream at them, to tell them they were wrong. But the forge pulsed steady, merciless, as if answering their chant. He pulled his hood lower, walking faster. But he knew the truth, names carried weight. And whether he wanted them or not, he could not set them down.